Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to touch base with you about some things that are happening with the class with Blackboard. So we're working with Blackboard Ultra this semester. This is the first semester that I've had all 6 of my courses in Blackboard Ultra, and maybe this is the first semester you've used it as well, or maybe not. But one of the things that is important for you to know is that Blackboard Ultra has not been released widely. It's a beta version. So Cape Fear essentially got a really great deal on the software, but we're testing it for Blackboard. And so there are all kinds of bugs and errors that we run into that then we have to email or we have to contact the support team to tell them that there's some issue. So I've been running into that quite a bit with some features in Blackboard. One of the things that is most obvious right now is the gradebook. Right now in our class, we have everything sectioned into folders. What I have is I set it up so a folder releases. When the folder releases, all the material for that week is in that folder, and you only see that folder. And then when that folder is done, it goes away. The problem is that if I set it up in that way and the folder goes away, then the grade in the gradebook goes away. So then you've taken, let's say, the chapter 2 quiz, it was in that folder. You completed it, you're seeing it in the grade book, then the folder gets hidden after that week and the grade gets hidden in the grade book. And there's no workaround for that. So what I'm gonna have to do is restructure the class so that those folders stay open. It's gonna be a little bit more cluttered and confusing for you. So all of the folders with the stuff that you've completed are going to stay visible to you. You're going to have to stay on top of the course calendar to see what is due that week, to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Now, if you stumble into a folder that was from 2 weeks ago and you click on the quiz to try and take it, it will just say the quiz is unavailable. It's certainly not tragic, but I don't want you to get confused. If you go into a folder and you click and the quiz isn't available, it very well is a folder from weeks past. So make sure that if that happens, you're checking against the calendar to see, is this the quiz I'm supposed to be working on? The other issue that I'm having is with the small group area. In the old Blackboard, there was a small group area where small groups could go in and I could create discussion boards for just that group. I could create assignments or file exchanges where you could share information with each other just in that small group area. That no longer exists, so what I have to do essentially is build an assignment for the small group. The problem with that is it wants the small group to turn in one assignment for the group. So some of you have emailed me and said, I tried to turn this in and it says, do you want to turn this in for the whole group? Or it just won't let me turn it in because somebody has already turned one in. So what I'm going to do is I'm hoping a workaround will be if I set it to unlimited attempts. So then that way you can submit what you have and I will be able to see all the attempts that are there. So if you and 3 other group members had various attempts, I'll still see all those images. The problem with that is that, I think you may be able to see each other's images. The discussion board, I don't know how that's going to go. I think some of you have already started posting to the discussion board. So far as I know, that's going okay. But those discussion boards are specifically for the group to complete. So I don't know if we're going to run into the same issue where it's like, oh, your group member has already responded to this discussion board, so you can't. So far as I know, that isn't going to be an issue because I haven't heard anything about it. The other thing that I've noticed is Blackboard in the gradebook has put an automatic 0 when it's past the due date. So if a quiz has passed and a student hasn't taken that quiz, it would automatically populate with a 0. The problem is that if I have any assignments that you're not turning in via Blackboard, like that first week email that you were supposed to send to me, that I have to manually enter, it automatically turns in 0s for all of those. If I haven't put a grade in by the due date, it becomes a 0. So that happened earlier today. So you may have seen a wobble in your grade. I've now started to go in and say, oh, don't put automatic zeros in because that's messing everything up. There are also a couple of discussion boards that you'll see that are due in 2021. They're conflict assessments and the small group check-in. Blackboard Ultra will not let me delete those. So we've had a support team put in a ticket to delete them. I'm hoping they're going to go away. When I was messing with the zeros today, it put in zeros for all 8 of those discussion boards that no longer exist. They literally won't let me manipulate them, but then they gave everybody in the class zeros for that. So that was part of the reason why you saw that wobble in the grades. So I'm going to take that out because that's messing with everything. What I'm going to have to do is go through for all the 6 classes that I'm teaching right now and make folders available in the coursework section, change a bunch of dates. So that's going to take a while. And unfortunately, there's a lot of lead time related to Blackboard Ultra, and things are just going to take longer than they usually do. So I'm asking for your patience, but I just wanted to give you an update about what's going on. Take care. Stay well, everyone.